An overpowered man named Tomokui Kanata was reborn to be a lowly goblin after experiencing a tragic demise at the hands of a mysterious woman. The moment he gained consciousness as a goblin, the elder goblin named him Gobru. As he navigates the trials and tribulations of his new goblin form, he discovers that raw power alone isn't sufficient enough in this new world. Together, let's witness Gobru's Giga quest for redemption and glory as he defies the odds. Goblins are the kind of creatures to develop a fully mature body in just a span of 3 days. As he was about to start on embarking his journey, he met Gobakichi, the biggest goblin in his generation. The two of them clicked, and they immediately went for a hunt. Because of their amazing synergy, they managed to easily hunt a horned rabbit. The moment Gobru consumed the rabbit, a system notification informed him that he gained a new ability. Thanks to that, each hunt that they did became more efficient. They continued their hunt, and another system notification occurred inside him. That's when he realized that his absorption ability in his previous life was still intact within him. Unfortunately, all of his previously gained abilities have been reset. However, he wasn't worried at all because the forest has plenty of monsters lurking with incredible powers. On his 6th day, he met Gobru, a female goblin. Gobru immediately fell in love with our hero due to his amazing hunting skills. To brush her off, Gobru invited her on their tomorrow's hunt, to which Gobru gladly accepted. Unlucky for her, rains fall the next day. So, Gobru decided to craft weapons instead. In his search for materials, he encountered a female humans who were held as captives. While he was crafting, he gained the goblin elder's attention, whose name is Goboji. Goboji informed him that if he was able to meet a certain level, he would transform into a hobgoblin. However, that won't be an easy feat because goblins have a short lifespan. Therefore, very few goblins had managed to achieve that level. The rain had stopped the following day, so he quickly went for a hunt along with Gobakichi and Gobru, with Gobru as a range backup, him at the middle range and Gobakichi as the forward. The three of them became an unstoppable force. After the hunt, Gobru takes a bite of the snakehead, and the system prompts that he gained 5 new abilities, such as thermography and venom resistance. The three of them continued their hunt, and they decided to enter a dark, creepy cave. The moment they entered, they were ambushed by a horde of vicious bats. However, both Gobru and Gobakichi took their stance and faced the horde with all of their might. After that, he gained 3 more abilities when he consumed the bat monster. At the same time, a group of envious goblins witnessed them as they had a feast. Those envious goblins decided to ambush him at night. Fortunately, his search ability activated, and he retaliated before the worst thing happened. Our Giga gave the group of goblins a lesson, and in the process of it, he accidentally killed one of them. Gobru then arrived and gave one of the envious goblins a headlock. The next day, the 3 of them decided to test their luck by hunting an orc. Gobru did the first attack, resulting in impairing the orc's vision. To finish it, Gobru mercilessly murders the poor orc. Thanks to that, he gained yet another 3 abilities that would surely help them in their upcoming hunts. After they had their fill, Gobru decided to share their hunts with the starving goblins. As he watches his fellow goblins eat, he realizes that something within him changed. Because back in his human days, he would have never considered helping out the helpless beings. As he sleeps peacefully at night, a system notification pops up yet again, asking him if he wanted to evolve into a hobgoblin. Due to his extreme exhaustion following the hunts, he just swiped the yes option and continued back to sleep. When he woke up in the morning, he was shocked when he turned into a hot aesthetic hobgoblin. Simultaneously, he noticed Gobakichi turned into a hobgoblin himself. Because of that, they became instant celebrities in their cave. Goboji couldn't believe what he was witnessing. For the entirety of his lifespan, he never encountered a goblin that could transform into a hobgoblin in less than a month. To test their new feat of strength, Gobakichi offered our Giga a sparring. Of course, Gobru happily accepted the duel. The two of them fought intensely. Gobru has the speed and technique advantage. On the other hand, Gobakichi's raw strength is enough to keep up with him. In the end, Gobru won the duel thanks to his experience advantage. He then senses that danger is about to come, so he asks Gobru to take her crossbow immediately. The 3 of them witnessed a pack of wolves terrorizing the forest. They caught the leader of the pack off guard by shooting it a poisonous arrow. Now that the pack is in shambles, Gobakichi and Gobru went into the front lines. After consuming the leader of the pack, the system notified that he had a new ability perfect for military leadership. Later that day, he offered the starving goblins their leftover hunt. However, there's a catch, and that is he expected them to catch the same number of prey he provided. The group of goblins asked him to become their mentor from now on, which he gleefully accepted. He stated that he is willing to help them from crafting weapons to hunting strategies. Thanks to that, our Giga has a group of goblins under his command. While the training session was being held, Gobru decided to take a quick break inside the cave. There he saw Gobomi, who evolved into a hobgoblin herself. On his 17th day, something terrible happened. The women who were held captives decided to commit suicide using a strong poison hidden in the cave. So Gobru and Goboji decided to create a memorial for them. A few days had passed since he started training the goblins from his generation. As he did that, he also managed to devour any promising monster that he could find. Everything was going smoothly until they noticed an army of armed hobgoblin coming in their way. He was about to face them head-on, but Goboji stopped him and stated that they were the fathers of their generation. The army brought 5 pretty women along with them as their captives. Of course, our Giga won't let anything bad happen to these chicks. He approaches the hobgoblin's leader and asks him if he can take a look at them. The leader took that as disrespectful, so he tightly grabbed our Giga collar. Because of that, an intense stare-down between the old and new generations occurred. Before things get out of hand, 2 goblin women named Hobosato and Hobosai halt them. They proposed that rather than having a civil war, both leaders should have a duel instead, and the winner will be anointed as the captain. Only a few seconds had passed since the announcement, and Gobru had already defeated the opposition. Everyone in the village was amazed at his capability to produce a web string with his body alone. With that, Gobru officially became the goblins' captain. He assured the women that they would be looked after, so they didn't need to worry as much. The red-haired woman showed her gratitude and asked if there was anything she could do to repay his kindness. Gobru radiantly smiled at her and asked her about what happened to them. They broke down in tears as they told him their tragic past about the men in their village who were brutally massacred by the hobgoblins. The next morning, the women greeted our Giga a good morning with a bright smile on their faces. Gobru did a background check about them, and it turns out that most of them have a pretty useful skill, except for the red-haired girl, who is only a rookie warrior. So he decided to join her for their upcoming training session. One night, a group of hobgoblins decided to sneak inside the women's room to express their lust. However, our Giga arrived just in time and apologized to them for giving them a scare. To set an example, Gobru tortured the 3 hobgoblin to impose fear on whoever disobeyed his command. Hoboken, the leader of the rebel goblins, passed away the next morning after receiving such punishments. Later, the trio went for a hunt, and they managed to hunt down a scaled unicorn. He received 7 new abilities after consuming the high-quality meat of the scaled unicorn. Something unexpected happened a few days after. The Gobai, who was known to be the weakest goblin in his generation, turned into a hobgoblin despite being only a baggage carrier. The training went very well. Each specialist was assigned a designated role to be a captain. Gobakichi was assigned as the captain of the heavy equipment army. Gobomi is the captain of the range unit. Hobsato is the light unit captain. Gob is the captain of rear support, and Hobsei is the mage captain. Unfortunately, she's the only one who can cast magic in the village. They gave them his complete trust in handling the village, while he was out for an expedition. There he saw a scaled unicorn, so he decided to use his newly learned ability. In just a single hit, the scaled unicorn was torn to pieces. Feeling confident with his skill, he wanted to test his luck by going further north of the forest. There he saw a massive trail of blood, which reminded him of the existence of the reed bear. Despite feeling worried, he courageously followed the trail. There he saw a huge scaled horse brutally murdered by a vicious beast. The vicious beast is none other than the red bear. Our Giga is trembling for fear as the red bear menacingly stares at him. However, his instinct tells him to fight the red bear and devour it. He decided to use the same ability he uses at the scaled unicorn on the red bear. However, the red bear reacted quickly and sacrificed its own arm to defend the spell. He then leaps into the air and strikes the red bear with all of his force. However, the strike is too shallow to do any damage. So he uses his web strings to constrict the bear, but the bear easily counters it by doing its scourging fire breath. Our hero received tons of damage from that attack. However, he knew that in order for him to win, he must be willing to take some damage to get it done. He charges forward to the vicious red bear. Despite the bear using its scourging flame attack, our Giga keeps on moving forward. He managed to strike his sword inside the beast's mouth, but the bear retaliated, which sent him flying. With the last remaining strength within him, Gobru stood up and took his axe to settle the dispute once and for all. The red bear is willing to do the same. It roars loudly, implicating that it's ready to die in this horrific duel. Their duel lasted for days, and in the end, Gobru managed to behead the vicious red bear. However, the bear managed to deal devastating damage before it died. Gobru did not waste any time. He quickly devoured the red bear and enjoyed every moment of it. That's when a system notification popped up. The system told him that he met all of the requirements to turn into a rare ogre species, to which he immediately accepted. Gobru turned into a good-looking ogre with a six-pack after the evolution. When he went back to the village, no one was able to notice him. In fact, the villagers thought they were being raided by a rare ogre. However, Gobomi was able to recognize him and immediately gave him a calf kick. He then told everyone what happened, and he instantly became the hero of their village. That's it for this recap. It looks like our Giga Chad's power scaling is on an entirely different level. Do you think he would be able to succeed in his redemption arc? Or the same thing will happen, and he will die yet again in vain? Tune in for more. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be updated for future uploads. Stay Chad.